Good morning, digital hustlers and ultimate empire. That's not what I'm. Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we got a wonder-filled show lined up for you as we continue our celebration of Black history and Black future, right? I'm bringing entrepreneurs on who are doing big things, who are going to create a better future for us. So we're talking about Black-owned media with Danielle Walker, owner and founder of Black Girl TV Network. Yeah, it's going down, man. So do me a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Daily Hustle Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're not familiar with the Daily Hustle, that is my opportunity to help you with your social media. That's right. With the Daily Hustle, you get every single day delivered to your email box a infographic that you can post on your social media, affirmations and reflections that you can also share, tweet out, post, all kinds of stuff. And I give you a link to a short video tutorial where I train you on how to use the graphics to turn your social media following into leads. You want your calendar filled up? Then you got to know what to post on your social media. And I teach you how to do all of that when you sign up for the Daily Hustle. And guess what? It's 100% free, people. All you got to do is text the keyword Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. Again, text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999, and you get instant access to all of my best work that has allowed me to build my brand on social media and create a strong residual income. I want to help you do the same thing. So welcome to the show. Today, we are talking about Black-owned media, the importance of it, how to get rolling in it. We got a special guest on who's going to be teaching us all about her Black network and why she went the route she did to build her own network. But before we get into that, y'all know what I say, man. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Smash that share button if you're getting any value from the show. Couple quick announcements, man. The daily midday motivation and marketing tips and strategies goes down every day, roughly around 11:30, 12, somewhere around there. I'm usually hopping on live, giving you guys some tips to help you with your marketing. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Wherever you're watching this on, the midday marketing and motivation shows up on those channels as well. Today, we're going to continue our series on video marketing. We're going to be talking about YouTube again and my favorite strategies to grow my YouTube subscriber base. So if you're looking to grow YouTube and you need some help, you want to come back around 11:30, 12 o'clock, and tune in to that. Also, personal branding 365, ladies and gentlemen, the price is going up right now. If you're trying to build a personal brand and you don't know what you're doing, you can get it for $7.95. I'm just saying it won't be $7.95 for long. Go to personalbranding365.com and get yourself a copy of that. Now, without further ado, man, I'm super excited to have this conversation because this young lady, like myself, believe in the power of media. And if they don't let you in the door, if they don't give you a seat to the table, then you go build your own table. And that's how it's going down. So let me introduce to some of you guys and present to others Miss Danielle Walker. Good morning, sis. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here.
I am excited to have you and to have this conversation. There's nothing like rocking with a kindred spirit, somebody who feels the same about certain things. And media is one of those things, man. So we're going to get all into your background, what made you start, how you got to where you are and all of that good stuff. But we start every episode of the Cortez Hustle Show with a quote of the day. And today, basically, a quote of the day is I'm going to share a quote. If you have a favorite quote, then you can share your favorite quote. Otherwise, you can comment on this one. The audience usually shares their favorite quote as well. So today we have a quote from Dr. Claude Anderson. I thought this was fitting, being that we're talking about media. He said, without media, you can't communicate. And if you can't communicate, you can't organize. And if you can't organize, you can't mobilize. Right. So when I think about that, I'm like, somebody has got to create and own some media so that we can stay in touch with our people, so that we can control our own narrative, so that we can communicate when it's time to put the right information out to get a particular result. We got to be able to talk to our people, just like every other culture is able to talk to their people, right? They're doing it through radio, TV, podcasting, and all sorts of ways to get messages out to their tribe. We got to do the same thing, but it starts with us understanding ownership. And I'm glad we're on the same boat together. So do you have a favorite quote, or do you want to chime in on that one?
Oh, well, right now, my favorite quote is, and I don't know, if it's, but my favorite quote is, just trust God.
Yes.
That's it.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one, because you got to understand that he knows what he's doing, right?
Amen.
He put all this stuff together, and you got to trust. You got to trust. And when I hear that, I'm saying, not only do you trust God, but you also trust that he gave you everything on the inside of you to fulfill the mission that he called you for. So sometimes if you can't trust yourself, then trust the God that created you and that gave you the tools and the resources to go out and get the job done. Because the book I read tells me he ain't gonna never ask me to do something
right,
that I can do, or put something on me that I can't handle. Right. So if it's in my heart to do something, then I believe that he's given me everything that I need to make it happen. So I love that. I love that. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by our good friends over at Open Arms Wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, if you understand one thing, or don't get anything else from me, get this: you do not have to be sick to get well. Oh, I'm gonna say that one more time. See, a lot of times we think that something got to be wrong with me for me to go sit down and talk to a mental health professional. No, you don't got to be sick to get better, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you just need to call someone and say, hey, I'm on this high and I want to stay on this high. How do I keep this momentum going? So make sure you reach out to them at openarmswellness.com, or give them a call at 314-329-4326. Now, Danielle, I ask everybody that comes on the Cortez Hustle Show this very question. So I'm going to pose it to you. Who the heck are you?
Well, I'm just a hood baby from the west side of Atlanta. But no, seriously, I'm a optimistic woman of God. I'm just looking to make a positive change in this world. Through media.
I mean, it's and you say it so simplistically, and I think sometimes people miss that. Sometimes it takes you a long time to get to that place where you can say something as simple as, man, listen, I'm just a child of God trying to make an impact. I'm trying to leave a mark on this world and not a stain. Like, that's it, right? So Talk to me about born and raised in Atlanta.
Yes,
Okay. All right. What was childhood like in the A, man? The Black Mecca,
man.
from St. Louis and other parts of the world. We look at Atlanta like that's the place where Black people go to thrive, right? So what was life like growing up in Atlanta?
Well, for me, I came up on the I don't want to say we was poor on the poor side, but
Yeah.
we were less fortunate,
Okay.
a single parent home. But I would go on the weekends, I would go over to my dad's house on the weekends with his new family, and then during the week be at home with my mom.
Yeah.
But just seeing her, how she struggled to raise me and my brother, it kind of it always gave me that imprint on the back of my mind that you got to do better. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, west side of Atlanta, it was fun, even though we were less fortunate, we didn't really know we was less fortunate because, we played outside, with your friends, always in the streets, and everybody shared what they had, in every neighborhood that we had the opportunity to stay in. Everybody was kind of, family. Like, it wasn't there was no neighbor that was a stranger if you stayed, within that immediate circle, right? Even though it was the projects,
Right.
everybody really kind of cared about each other, and if your parents wasn't at home and they was at work, the neighbor would look out for you, so I had a very interesting upbringing, and all of the teachers that we had, they really cared about us kids, in the area that we grew up in. So I can really say, I can't, even though we were less fortunate, it was still good. We didn't see
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. And I think that is the beauty of, parents with ingenuity, right? Parents who knew how to make the most important thing the most important thing. Look, raised by a single mom myself, fourth born of 6 children. Now, you
Wow.
said you didn't know. I knew.
I mean, we knew,
right?
but
we was broke, right? Mom
you
raised us on
know.
welfare. And I look back, literally, she had a $300 welfare check. I lost my dad when I was 11, so she had a $300 Social Security check and $300 worth of food stamps to raise 6 children on, right?
Wow.
And she made it work.
Right.
She made it work. So it's it is what it is. But you said that you had, your parents split, so you had weekends at your dad's weekend. What was it like having 2 families? Like, was it hey, I'm one way when I'm with my dad and his family, and I'm another way with my mom because, or was it pretty much same rules in both places, or how did that work out?
Well, at home, every kid, well, I don't know about anybody else, but I liked it to be at home because all of my friends were at home, right?
Yeah.
But when I would go over my dad's house, it was always I enjoyed going because of my other siblings. You know what I mean? We had fun. But it was just always, I'm ready to go home.
It went home. It's like, I'm gonna go visit, but visit is like 8 hours. Now, okay, I'm good. I saw everybody. We kicked it a little bit. We had a little lunch. Now I'm ready to go back home where my real crew is at. And I get
it. But no, I had an amazing stepmom. She recently passed a few years ago. But she has a deep place in my heart. She did an amazing job. She was strict, she was
and that's what I was gonna say, was that sometimes we don't develop that appreciation until we get grown and start having kids and realize, wait a minute, that was on some next level stuff that she didn't have to take care of us the way she did, and really, so was it the appreciation there when you were younger, or did it take you to mature a little bit to really
it was there? Let's say it came in my teenage years, but when I started to see what was really going on, right? So she was really, in reality, it was her and my mom raising me. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense without me
Yes.
having to say. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I respected her because she let me know once I got of age to where I can understand certain things. She set me down and said, Danielle, this is what it is,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
respected her for that. You getting this, you think this coming from your dad? No, this coming from me. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's
And
like, listen, I want to make sure that you are in my kids' life because they are your brothers and sisters, your
right.
siblings. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he on, but I want
Right.
to make sure that you know that you are family over here because you're blood related to my children, and I'm gonna treat you.
Right.
I love that because I'm a
Yes.
blended family. My wife, when we got together, she had two
Mm-hmm.
children from a previous marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So instantly, I became a dad like that. When we got serious, like I
Mm-hmm.
fell in love with my sons before I fell in love with my wife,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I understand that whole dynamic, right? And
Yes.
I just remember that all I kept thinking was, yeah, she had two kids from a previous marriage, so I'm gonna give her three because he ain't gonna beat me. So now we got five, right?
Right.
So we got five sons, but I
Mhm.
understand that whole
Yes.
dynamic, like me wanting my sons, my older two, to go and spend time with their biological family. Like,
Mhm.
no, y'all got this is where y'all from. Y'all gotta
Mhm.
understand them in a
Mhm.
way to be able to understand yourself. So that's
Right.
important. So I can certainly
Mhm.
understand that. But big ups to stepmom, man.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories like that because that
Yeah.
just makes so much sense. Because at the end of the day, it's all family, man, and you got to know your family and know who they are. And glad that she had a lot of love for you in that
Yeah.
regard. So
Mhm.
coming on up through teenage years and stuff, did you do the college thing or did you jump right out into the workforce? What was that like? Were you an entrepreneur when you were a kid, or what happened? Let's
Okay.
go down this road.
So I knew I was poor. Let's just put it like
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah.
I started braiding hair at 8, right?
Okay.
So I would go to the neighbor's house. We had a few neighbors that would have me come and braid their hair, and I just,
Hmm.
make a little change. I clean your house, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Watch your kids, just the normal stuff. But in college, so let's put it this way. So I had the desire to become a corporate lawyer, and I
Hmm.
realized because my dad wanted me to be, right? It
Mm.
wasn't Danielle's real desire,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he reflected what he wanted on me, and
Hmm.
I assumed that that's what I wanted, right? So
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
growing up, I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna be a corporate lawyer. And I get in school, I get to college, right? And I
Hmm.
start, going to school, and then I end up happening on my first internship. I won't say the law group, but I was able to be blessed with the internship just because I was at work. I was working at Arby's at the time, right? And if
Hmm.
you're a customer, I'm gonna talk to you, just to,
Yeah.
while the time going by. And just so happened the lawyer that owned the firm, he came in and we was having a conversation, and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna give you an intern right now." I was like, okay, so that's kind of how that's kind
Oh
of how it
wow.
happened. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? But I was like, well, I got to keep this job. You know what I'm saying
Hmm.
too. Can you work
Right.
there? He worked with it, and so I was with him for maybe 2 or 3 months, and I left. And the reason why is because I realized, that I had to cheat people out their money to make some money, and I wasn't.
Mm.
I wasn't
Yeah.
willing to do that. You know what I mean? Not saying your price is your price. I
Hmm.
understand that now, but back
Hmm.
then I didn't understand that. So in my mind, they was ripping people off. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
after that, I found myself at a crossroads because all my life I'm like, corporate law. Now you don't want to do law. Well, what do you do? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So at this point, I was working. I halted on school, and then I was still working Arby's, and then I picked up a second job as a security officer, right?
Hmm.
And while I was in during security, I was in that building. Some of the buildings you be by yourself. So I was in the
Hmm.
building, and I, was thinking over my life. I had a breakdown because I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
And going after getting out of a serious relationship that kind of broke my heart, I was just in this building alone, and I started writing. And that's when I realized I had the gift of writing.
Man, we're gonna get into that a little bit deeper, but I can't gloss over the fact that my mom always tell me, man, Cortez, you got the favor of David on your life. And she would always say, favor ain't fair. Like, you out of all people striking up a conversation with an attorney saying, I'm gonna give you an internship. You got it right now. Let's, show up at this place at this time. And like, that's favor.
Yeah.
And some people kill for that and still can't get it. And it took me a while to figure out how to accept that, like, I don't know why God likes me the way he likes me. And I don't know why he does the things that he does for me, but he does. And I'm grateful. And I cannot feel guilty about that, because that's what it would end up being. Like, I'm blessed, other people aren't. I feel a little guilty. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Man, the shade was heavy in that office. Them girls didn't like me.
Because you had the favor. You had the favor. Well, real quick, we do another segment on the Cortez Hustle Show called 1 Minute Motivation. This is where I play a short motivational video, because I so believe that you are who you are based on what you consume, right? So I try to give the people something positive every morning to start their day with. So we're going to play a 60 to 90 second clip. And I just want you to take a listen and tell me what you hear. I'll talk about what I heard, a takeaway or two. And the audience will probably comment a takeaway or two as well. So let's get into 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power of pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. Don't let this year be like last. And if last year was great, still don't let it be that way. Raise the standard. It's not what we get that make us happy. It's who we become and what we're able to give because we become more. You want to know how to change your life? I give it to you in 3 words, boring as it sounds: raise your standards.
There's no excuse for not living up to the fullest potential. No excuse. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. But winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, it's going to become a culture.
If you keep that victim mentality, you're going to create a culture of losing. So I love doing this so much because we all just listened to the same clip, but we all heard something very different. So what did you hear, sis?
Man, so I heard in the beginning, you need to change. You need to evolve, right? By you changing, using your testimony of what you experienced and went through can help others get through what they're going through, right? And then I also heard after you've changed, you're a winner. So why are you, towards the end, you already won. Don't feel down. Just go ahead because you're a winner.
Yeah, man. I love that attitude because as Christians, that's the deal, right? We already won, right? So no matter what we go through, it's like watching a championship fight on DVR.
Right.
You already know who won, but you're watching the fight and you're watching this guy get his face pounded in, but the whole time you're thinking, but they told me he won.
Right.
Yeah. When you get to the end of the fight, he somehow comes out of nowhere with a haymaker, knocks the other guy out, but both his eyes closed. Shit like that to me sometimes is like walking through this earth as a Christian. You get beat up a little bit, but we win. At the end of the day, we win.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters, right? You never know how capable you are until you put yourself in tough situations to where being capable is all you got, right? Some people allow fear to stop them from stepping out on faith. And to me, that's saying that you have no faith, right? If you're not stepping out into an area that calls for you to accomplish something that you've never done before, then that ain't faith, right? It ain't nothing for me to do this podcast. So I'm not stepping out on faith in the morning when I get up and do this podcast. We're on episode 254. So that's not stepping out on faith, right? Now, stepping out on faith is me going to read for a TV part or something that I ain't never done before, right? So I think we got to understand that everything that we need to win is inside of us. And there's going to be a lot of days on this earth where it looks like we're losing. It looks like we're down for the count. But no, all we got to do is get up. We win, right? And all of that, if we can just stand, right? That's all we got to do is get back to our feet and we win. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by our good friends over at Thornton Online Marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you are a small local business and you need help with your lead generation, then that's what Thornton Online Marketing can do for you. All you got to do is text the keyword local biz 314-730-3999. They specialize in helping small local businesses attract, serve, and retain more customers without paid advertisement. Text local biz to 314-730-3999 and get a free marketing strategy session from one of their lead generation specialists. So, Danielle, my friend, we were just getting to the good parts, right? And through school, you started to develop that pen and started to understand that, you know what, this is all right. Like, this is bringing me joy. I'm good at it, right? So as you were discovering that talent and working your job, right, did you immediately go off and do your own thing, or did you stick in corporate jobs and kind of working while you were developing that skill?
Well, I was still doing security, still working at Arby's, writing. And the blessing of it all, it was a guy in that building, after I poured my heart out in what I call was going to be my first book, right?
Yeah.
There was a guy there who would always come down. He was actually Pakistani-ish, right? And he would come down and we would have a conversation. He was, just like, what you doing? Just hang with me during lunch. He taught me how to format the book, and he taught me how to self-publish it for free, just because he wanted to help me.
So here we go back to favor again.
Man, wait till you hear. Look, you ready for this?
Like seriously, I think people miss. You don't gotta have all the answers. Right? You just start. Like, just start with what you have, do what you can with that, and know that that is enough. And when you take the steps that you have, the next steps will be revealed. What you need will start showing up in your life, man. People like, I can't move, Cortez, until I got A through Z figured out. No, you got A and B, you got enough to get moving. When you get to B, guess what? C and D gonna show up. But it ain't never gonna show up if you never move from A to B. So writing, somebody helps you format, publish, didn't cost you anything. First project out. How did that make you feel when you got that first thing published, man?
I was excited for like one day. And then I was like, I gotta do more.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. One of my gifts from God is creative genius, right? And it's taken me almost 40 plus years to be able to say that out loud and not crack a smile like that. That's a gift that I have, and that's what's supposed to be sustaining me. But for all these years, I wouldn't use it, right? But knowing that that's a gift, it's also a curse, because I heard Elon Musk say it like this one time: when you are creative like that, it's like having a never-ending explosion in your head at all times.
Yes.
And it's hard to focus. Like, man, I got so many ideas. I can do so many different things. No, just do one of them. Right? Do you find yourself like that? Like all these
Yes.
ideas, it's hard to just, okay, let me just stay on this one thing and make it blow up.
All the time. But I never recognized that creative side. When I was young, my mom used to always be like, focus. She would always fuss at me and say, focus, because I always be trying to. But now that I'm older, I understand that I have a creative mind. And that's why it's hard for me to just focus on one thing, right? Because there's so many different things going on. But yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because scripture says you train up a child in the way that they should go. And a lot of Christians think that means to train them up in the word of God. Well, scripture was already clear that you should be training them up in the word of God before it even got to that part. That part means train them up in according to the way that they're bent. So your mom, in recognizing this creativity, and not to say anything bad about the way your mom raised you, but she's telling you to focus when she should have maybe been saying, let it out. Let it out. Like, this is who you are. This, like, you got to train the child up according to, wait a minute, don't try to put all of this creativity in a box in one thing. Okay, let it out. And you maybe would have figured out that you was a writer a long time ago. Right.
Yeah. But what I can say now, as an adult, she's like my biggest cheerleader, because what I come to realize, she didn't understand herself. You know what I mean? If this was something that was foreign to her, so she didn't know how to, handle it. You know?
Yeah. And that's often with adults, because they have forgotten their childhood. Like, and it's funny, as a young person, I didn't grow up with my dad, so one of the things I always wanted to be was a dad. And I would say that when I got to be a dad, there were certain things I would never do to my kids, right? And then you end up doing those things anyway, just like your parents, right? But one of those things is if you forget that you were imaginative as a kid, and then you see that in your kid, you start telling them not to be, no, focus, no, stop daydreaming all the time. And now you get to adults, you're like, no, I need to be daydreaming. I need to be visualizing where I'm trying to go and all of these different things. So you got to a place where you start writing, put out that first project. Now you're ready to move on to another project. And where are we with, making money from the books? Or was that even the goal? Or was it more about you just getting and honing your skills and putting the works out?
For me, it was, I knew the money would come. You know what I mean? Yeah. My thing was, I wanted people to read it. I was very passionate about people opening the book and reading the contents of it to see what I'm capable of doing. Right? Yeah. $10, I wasn't studying $10. You know what I mean? Right. I wanted you to see my gift. So that's what I'm passionate about. So moving along a little, let me move along in a little story. So I'm still a security officer, right? But I had got positioned at another location. Now at this location, people come down, talk to me. At this location, I'll say I was working at AT&T, right? Now I'm at AT&T. And some of the employees that would come down and talk to me, there was a guy that taught me how to code. He came down and taught me how to code. So I know how to, so he taught me how to do coding. So I could code, I can build Kindle through code instead of having to, do like just ship it over to somebody and they do it for me. I know how to do it through the code, right? So he taught me that for free just because he read what I had. He was like, you need to have this on Kindle. Let me show you how to build this code, right?
Amazing.
Another employee came down. Now that I know the code, I was like, Now this was a lady. Now it was a guy who taught me how to code. She read my work. She said, "Let me give you the money to buy you a Kindle."
Wait,
when they got their bonus, she came down, gave me I didn't ask. She just said, "I want to be a blessing unto you." And she gave me the money to go get the Kindle. I went and got it, and I came and showed her. That's what I did with it. You know, I was shouting in the bathroom.
Of course.
I was shouting and crying and everything, you know. But that let me know I was doing what the Lord set out for me to do, because all of these things just kept happening, right?
Right.
So after that, I was like, you know, when the book sales died, right? I didn't have any money I couldn't afford a literary agent, right, to shop it. So when the sales died, I was like, man, Lord, they just buy. Some people was just buying, but I need them to read it. I said, maybe if I do do a TV show, they'll watch it and then they can see, you know. I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford it, right?
Right.
You want me to keep going?
Keep going. Keep going.
So I couldn't afford it. So now I got a new job. I don't want to say, because I'm still there. I don't want to say my job that I work for, but it's a good one now. You know, I didn't have to work 2 jobs anymore. But in that job, the people that I got hired with, I was able to befriend them, and we all did the trailer to my TV show, right?
Wow.
They agreed to be the actors because they wanted to help me. And we filmed the trailer with some of the people that I knew. And since then, I was like, now we got to film the whole thing, right? We got this trailer. We filmed the trailer in 2017. We got this trailer. I'm like, man, I ain't got no money. You know what I mean? But I want to get this done, you know?
Right.
And out of frustration of not having, when you ain't got no money, you gonna figure something out. You know what I mean? You gonna solve the problem. So once I figured out, I'm like, okay, I can't afford nobody to, you know, another agent to shop this on the film side. I said, let me just build my own hosting site. And that's what we did. Because I was solving a problem for myself. And I was like, well, now that I done solved this problem for me, I know there's people out here that got the same issue. But let me make it affordable, because maybe they in the situation that I was in. And that's how we came up with BLKG TV.
And that, like, I don't know if people are listening, but what I hear is just keep taking one step. Just keep taking one step. Like, don't worry about what the end of the story gonna be like. Just keep taking one step. Just keep taking, because every time you took a step, a blessing came. Every time you took another step, here come another blessing. You got the book done. You started writing. Then a guy showed up, said, hey man, here's how you format it. Here you wanted to self-publish it yourself. Here's how you go. Boom. Somebody else read and said, oh man, you know what? This needs to be on Kindle. Let me teach you how to code. And it ain't gonna cost you that. And I know what it costs to go to a coding school and a coding program. Like, it's like, that ain't no cheap thing, right? And then somebody comes and blesses you with a Kindle. Like, so now you got a book on Kindle. You can actually read your own work on Kindle, right? And then it's like, okay, you move on to a different situation. And now you're thinking about, okay, how do I take this to another step further? I don't know all that there is. I just know I'm going to take this one step. They say I need to shoot a pilot. Well, I'm going to shoot a pilot. I don't know how I'm going to shoot the pilot. It's just decided that I'm going to shoot it. And everything starts to come together. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening and you got a passion, you got an idea, and you got something that you want to accomplish, you want to leave a mark on this world and not a stain, get up and take some action. I promise you the universe will bend to your will if you're serious about that thing. And now we got a Black media network because somebody refused to quit because a door didn't get opened for her. So congratulations on the network and all that you've been able to accomplish thus far. So let's talk about that real quick. What is the network like, and how long did it take you to kind of get it to where it is now, and where are we going with this thing?
All right. So with Black Girl Television Network, we mainly focus on independent filmmakers, right? We want to kind of build that. We want to give them the Hollywood experience at an affordable price, right?
Okay.
So when they come over to us, not only do you have the opportunity to host your content with us, but you're making money from your viewership starting at view 1. And then also, we're going to offer opportunities to where we do award shows for any, for the films and actors and things like that. And just, I want to build a mini Hollywood, even though I know it's going to be big, but, within the company, right? We're not, prejudiced or anything. We'll accept anybody, any independent, it don't matter, race, color, creed. We will accept you just because it's called, because I know I have people say, is it only for Black women? And I'm like, no, we accept everybody. It's just I'm a Black girl and I own a network. So that's what the name came from.
Right. Black Girl Network.
Right. But my goal, my dream is, one, to be bigger than Disney, and then also just to have a place where all the creatives can be creative, own their own rights to their work, don't have a max, like a limit of how much they can make. As long as you're willing to promote yourself, you can make buku money, right? As much as you're willing to work.
Yeah. And I love that, because one of the things that I believe causes people to never find their purpose in life is the need to walk away from their passion to feed themselves, right? And that's where the term struggling artist comes from, right? I'm writing, I'm doing these things, I'm acting, I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm painting, I'm sculpting, whatever it is, but it's not feeding me right now. And then you mess around and walk away from that so that you can feed yourself in the interim. But what happens in the interim? You meet a guy, you meet a gal, you have a kid or two. Now more responsibilities start to pile up, and now you never get back to that thing that you love to do. And because you walked away from that passion, it's my belief that you have these passions because if you stay with them long enough, they'll lead you to your purpose, right? But if you have to walk away from that passion to feed yourself, you never discover your purpose. And I just believe when you are walking in your purpose, there too is your provision. So it all goes hand in hand. But if we never get to the purpose because we walked away from our passion, because we couldn't figure out how to feed ourselves from it, then I believe that's why so many people in the world are not walking in their purpose. But you're creating a platform that says, if you're a writer, if you're an actor, if you are a singer, if you're a content creator, then we're going to make a platform for you to be able to earn income from your work and still retain ownership. Is that right?
Yes. It's that simple. And people be like, well, what's the catch? There is no catch. They want it to be deeper than what it is. It is the way that's just the way that it is, That's it.
And I think my wife laughs at me a lot because I talk, when I'm doing business and it's like, hey, I want to help this person. And I know I have to have an agreement on paper, but I don't want an agreement with a gazillion words on it. Put me 10 words on a page. This is what I will do for you. Do you agree? Sign here, right? Just keep it simple and plain so that everybody understands what's going on here so we can move forward and get to this bag, right?
Yes.
So I love that you're keeping it simple like that and affordable. So talk to me pricing wise. Is it a cost to get on the network, or have you figured all of that stuff out yet? And how you guys are working through that? If I'm a creator and I wanted to put the Cortez Hustle Show on the Black Girl TV network, how does that work?
All right. So we have 3 options. You can test us out for 3 months for $650 to host, because you're paying for hosting. So for $650, you get a 3-month, you be on the network for 3 months. You get everything included, like your banner, all of those fees are included in that $650, right? you get paid once a month, right? I'll go ahead and say 20 cents per new view.
And that's based on viewership. So
Right.
if I go out and tell everybody to go to Black Girl TV Network and watch the Cortez Hustle Show on there, when they watch,
You
I'm
get
start racking up those
20 cents.
Okay.
We pay out more than everybody.
Gotcha. Okay.
We pay out more than everybody. That's why I
Gotcha.
feel like we can do 20 cents. So we have a 6-month option. The 6-month option is $12.99. And then for the year, it's $22.99. So the thing about it, it's 3/6 1 year, right? What if you decide to do the year, because it's like a buy here, pay here situation, right?
Yeah.
If you want to renew, we would treat you as if you're a brand new customer all over again. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody to feel stuck. You can be with us. You can be with whoever you want to be with. We just another a better platform for you. But we don't want to block you from getting any funds that you may be getting already, right? We want you to eat, so hey.
So I don't have to be an exclusive deal
No.
with you. If I want to put something on Black Girl TV Network, it can be on your network. I can send people there and I can get paid for them to watch it. Or if it's on YouTube too, I can send them to YouTube to watch it and don't get nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that makes sense for me to send them to Black Girl Network, to send them over there to watch. So for your viewers, are you doing subscription based for your viewers or something like that? Or
yes, we do have 3 packages for subscribers. We have the like the basic, it's $6.99. We have an economy plan. Well, it's $6.99, $8.99, and $11.99 for premium.
Okay. Love it. Seems like you got it all figured out, and I love that you didn't let the fact that Netflix exists stop you. The fact that Peacock, all of the big networks are doing, Disney Plus has 100 million subscribers or something like. This is where I think we get stuck. We seem to despise humble beginnings. Like we don't want to start, Apple and Amazon and IBM and Google started in somebody's garage. Well, we think we're too good to start in somebody's garage. So we gotta have spend all of this money on. No, just get started, man, and let it grow. So I love that you are in the space and you're not afraid to be in the space with the giants, and you're gonna make Black Girl TV Network a thing. And I'm pulling for you, and I'm super proud that you are doing your thing, man. So
thank you.
We are another one of my favorite parts of the show, and it's called freestyle. Because I know you got bars, sis. You can't be in the A with Outkast and Goody Mob and not be able to spit some fire. Come on now. No, freestyle ain't that, right? It is not that. But freestyle is an opportunity for you. Like you, I'm building a multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate, starting with this podcast. And it will one day outpace Disney and Ted Turner, right?
Yes, come on.
I say Disney and Ted Turner, CNN, who?
Yes.
So as I'm building this empire, I know I don't always ask the right questions. I ramble on a lot and don't let my guests talk sometimes, but I'm getting better.
You doing good to me.
So freestyle is where you get a chance to take 2 minutes and either reiterate something that you've already said, or if we didn't get to a part of the conversation that you want to make sure you let people know about you and your network, then you can, take this opportunity to speak from your heart, man, whatever you want people to know about you, about your network. So this is freestyle right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, the Danielle Walker version. Hit with your best bar, sis.
Man, I just want to say thank you, Cortez, for just allowing me the opportunity to come on the show. If you're listening, be sure to go through your mobile app app store, download the BLKG TV Network app, and subscribe. If you are a content creator and you're interested, be sure to visit us at www.blkgtv.com. Select the Join a Network tab at the top of the screen. Fill that form out. You're immediately going to get another email that's going to ask you more questions. Fill that out. Hey, let's get it popping. If you're on Instagram, you want to follow us at BLKGTV Network, and also follow me on my personal page at D Walker Experience. That's just a D and then Walker Experience. And if you on fan base, it's D Walker Experience. Right. If you look, if you're on Facebook, it's BLKGTV Network as well. And also, I just want to give a shout out to my team. Once again, a shout out to you, Cortez, and also a shout out to my trainer over at Effect Fitness. They're doing their thing out here in Atlanta. I just wanted to make sure I bring awareness to them as well. I got love for those folks over there. And I'm giving it back to you.
That's it. Drop the mic. Boom. That's how we do it over here, man. Freestyle bars. So, man, I love what you're doing. And
thank you.
We started out this show with a quote of the day talking about Dr. Claude Anderson. And we own less than 0.1% of 1% of all media in this country. And that's got to change. And it starts with people like yourself with a vision to give voices. It starts with people like Isaac Hayes III over at Fanbase, monetizing your content over there. So I love what you're doing, and I'm super proud of the efforts. So go to the App Store, y'all, and here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do, right? Anybody that listening to this show, if you go to the App Store and you download the app and you show me a screenshot of that app on your phone, I'm going to send you a free vacation voucher to Vegas, Orlando, Chicago, one of these hot cities, man. You're going to go get a chance to stay for free. Now, you got to get yourself there, but at least your room will be paid for. So if you are serious about supporting, go become a subscriber. If you just want to view the content that's there, if you're a content creator, go download the app, because downloads count too. This is what you got to understand in the app world. Downloads count. They matter. Right? They're monitoring whether or not we got juice, right? Mm-hmm. So go download the app, then decide if you're a content creator and you want your content up there, then go that route. If you just want to view the content that's up there, then you go that route. But either way, go download the app. Send me a screenshot. I'm gonna send you a free vacation voucher to one of over 30 different destinations for you. And it's for you and a boo. And if you got kids, it could be you, a boo, and 2 kids. Now, there's a couple of taxes and fees you might have to cover, but think about it. You go stay at Vegas for 4 days and 3 nights. Come on, man. Like, yeah. Go download the app. That's what we're going to do, because I want to support Sis and her efforts to build this media empire. We'll one day be competition, but right now it's all love. So.
Hey, bring it on.
I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us today here on the Cortez Hustle Show. As always, man, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Until we talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.